I'm changing the title. It's not that you can't, it's that you shouldn't do it all alone. Hey everybody, Rabbi David here, your Torah tech guy, and I'm here on Torah Tech Tips, where I strive to share great tech for your great Torah. So today I wanted to talk about you can't do it all. But the truth is, I came up with this title, and then the truth is I realized that, yeah, you can. I mean, when I lead services, when I teach Torah, I sort of do manage all of it. Now, granted, I have it a little easier than a lot of people because I'm only digital. I'm not dealing with people on site and online. I'm just dealing with the people online, so I can be in a controlled environment with all of my tech toys to help me manage that. But the truth is you can do it all on your own, and I'm actually going to share with you my favorite tool to help you manage all of the different things you have to manage in just a moment. But before I do that, I did want to just talk about 4 different ways that people can help you when you're sharing Torah in Zoom or even on YouTube or Facebook or any other platform. 4 specific ways. This could be 4 different people, or it could be 1 or 2 people that are splitting up these different tasks. So let's dive right into the first of the 4 tasks. The first is probably the most important, and that is to help you monitor Zoom security. And what I mean by Zoom security is you should have a waiting room for all of your classes. Even if you think the same regulars come every time, you should always have a waiting room. And you can have someone to help facilitate that waiting room to make sure that people are getting in when they should be getting in. People who are not supposed to be getting in are not allowed into the meeting. Zoom security also, though, means someone who's keeping an eye on what people are saying, what people are chatting, if people are, if you have screen share enabled, that they're watching that, and that people are also watching people's names underneath. So if you have someone joining you who maybe you don't recognize, you want to have someone who's also keeping a name on their, keeping an eye on their display name. People, bad actors can share ugly content in lots of different ways, including by changing their what shows up in their video, by changing their name, by putting things in the chat, and that applies both to Zoom, YouTube, and Facebook. Having someone to watch those, sorry for the ding-dong, the doorbell, having somebody to watch those spaces and make sure that you get rid of bad actors can be really, really important to the success of your Torah. You don't want these folks distracting from the beautiful gifts that you're sharing. All right, second thing, a mute master, someone who really knows how to use that mute button and how to facilitate people muting and unmuting. So that's someone who is really dedicated to making sure that if someone should not be unmuted, that they are muted. And if someone's struggling to unmute themselves when you want them to unmute, that this person can, in the chat perhaps, support them and help them do that. You not having to worry about who's muted, where's that noise coming from, all those things really allows you to focus on what's most important, which is your Torah. Third way that someone can help you, chat moderation. Now, for chat moderation, this isn't really just about the security that I talked about before. This is about engagement. This is someone who's watching the chat, who's engaging with people, who's responding to their thoughts, to their questions, who's maybe sharing important links. So if you are inviting people to look at a website, or if you're sending people a PDF that you want them to download, this is the person who uploads that into the chat. This is the person who puts those links into the chat. This is the person who can help support people if they're having trouble accessing something that you're sharing in the chat. It's really about the personal relationship that one person can build within the chat space. And again, this is for Zoom, this is for YouTube, this is for Facebook. If you're streaming to YouTube or Facebook, as I am now, best practice would be to have someone on the back end who's keeping an eye on that chat. I do have an eye on it. I'm not sure if I'm seeing all the chats, but I'm keeping an eye on it. But honestly, if something were to go wrong, if a bad actor were to pop in, or if someone were to ask a question or ask for a link, I'm not sure that I'd really be able to give them the time that they deserve in the course of this little stream that I'm doing. So having someone on the back end who can engage with people in the chat is really, really important and incredibly powerful for your participants to feel heard, to feel respected. The fourth thing that someone can help you with on the back end is for breakouts and apps. If you are using breakout rooms, or if you're using any Zoom apps like Mentimeter or any of the others that Zoom has recently made available within their ecosystem, having someone who can facilitate all of that, who can launch those polls. I should have put polls up here also. Launch those polls, open the breakout rooms, assign breakout rooms, send messages to people when they're in breakout rooms saying 1 minute left or whatever the message is. Having someone who can do all of that for you so you can focus on the Torah and so you can then cycle yourself through the breakout rooms and again, be with your participants, make that personal connection. Having someone to do that is really, really helpful. So again, this could be 4 different people, or it could be 1 or 2 people. Someone to watch your Zoom security, to be your mute master, to watch and participate in chat moderation and participation, and someone to help you with the breakout apps and polls and anything else that you might have. I pressed the wrong buttons. Sorry about that. I've been in a number of shows recently when we've had one person, as I mentioned, sort of monitoring the waiting room, one person moderating the chat, and it really has left our host, or in our case, it would be our teacher, free to really be focused on the content of what they're sharing. And so you can do it alone, but you don't have to. If you do find yourself alone, I want to share with you, and I've done this before, but actually I'll give you 2. I'll give you my 2 favorite tools for moderating and facilitating and teaching in Zoom or anything else for that matter. The first is dual monitors. Having 2 monitors, I find really, really helpful. It allows me to have Zoom on this window and my content on this window. Whether it's 2 different computers or 1 computer, it doesn't really matter. But having your content, well, it does matter if you need to share that content in Zoom. You want that on the same computer. But having your content on one and your participants on another allows you to not have to worry about where did this window go, where did that window go, I can't see my participants, where's my Zoom window. It lets you, again, this is all about helping you share great Torah. And the last tool, this should be the first tool, actually. The first tool is a Stream Deck. Now, I've been using one. In fact, when I just screwed up and pressed all those buttons wrong, that's what I was using. Let me show you. This is my Stream. Nope, that's not my Stream Deck. This, hello, is my Stream Deck. It just fell out of its case. This is my Stream Deck. This is the big daddy of the Stream Decks, which you can see here. Let me actually turn this picture off. There we go. This is the big daddy, the 32-key Stream Deck. I also have this smaller one over here. Let me see if I can show that to you. There's the little baby. And there's even a smaller one. There's a 6-button Stream Deck also. But the reason why the Stream Deck for me is so important, and I'll show you on this screen, is that along the bottom here, these are all of my Zoom buttons. So if I want to mute myself, I have a button for it. If I want to open up the Zoom participants window, I have a button for it. If I want to open up the Zoom chat window, if I want to screen share, I have a button for that. If I want to toggle, I do this all the time, between speaker grid view and active speaker view, I have a button for that. You may know that if someone spotlights someone, it will automatically switch you to active speaker view. Well, even when someone is spotlighted, I like to be able to see the whole gallery. And so having this button here is really helpful. And then, of course, one to end the call. A Stream Deck makes everything that you need to do in Zoom and pretty much everywhere else a whole heck of a lot easier. A whole heck of a lot easier. They're not that expensive. They're easy to use. If any of you want to get one and want some help on setting yours up, let me know. I'm happy to help you. You can find out how to reach me at TorahTechGuy.com. Just head over there. You'll be able to get a bunch of really helpful information. I have guides. I've got links to the gear that I use, links to the software that I use, lots of different workshops I'm offering, really good stuff over there. And it's all for you. Great tech for your great Torah. So you don't have to do it alone. You can. If you use a Stream Deck, if you have a couple monitors, you can do it alone, but you don't have to. And if you can get people to help you in these 4 ways, in those 4 ways, right? In security, in muting, in, what was the third one? I forgot. Oh, chat moderation. Sorry. So Zoom security, mute master, chat moderation, and then screen sharing or breakout rooms or apps or things like that. If you can have someone help you do those 4 things, that will make all the difference and let you focus on your amazing Torah. That's it for today. Tomorrow, we've got another how-to coming up. Oh, I should tell you, by the way, that Torah Tech Talk, which was airing on Thursdays at 5, is transitioning. We're going to take this week off. We're transitioning. Leo and I are going to be hosting Synagogue Tech Forum, which is still going to be on Thursdays, but a little earlier at 3 o'clock. And we're going to have amazing guests join us. So Synagogue Tech Forum / Torah Tech Talk, same thing, is going to be on Thursdays, not this week, next week, Thursdays at 3 p.m. Eastern. And I look forward to seeing you on office hours, on How To tomorrow, on Synagogue Tech Forum or Dreaming Tech or anywhere else I see you. It's always a joy. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Bye.